In this live coding session, we're doing test-driven development of SwiftUI. And one thing you'll see is that in order to extract a subview using as much tooling as possible, there are a few steps to the process. We're back for another round, 90 minutes or so of live coding. I'm your host, John Reed, author of that. You can find me here. Hello, everybody. It's good to be back. Although the time shift, yeah, I see this is going to throw people off, but Muttshark is here. Also Marcus. Marcus, that doesn't count. You also shifted, didn't you? Yeah, I'm dealing with the time shift as on top of jet lag. So I'm just kind of like, hello, the Coder Tricks. Good to have you all. We'll see what happens with the viewership until, Europe and the US are in sync. What a dumb idea to be out of sync. If you're going to change clocks, let's do it together. Otherwise, let's not do it. Oh, Monday is hard after these changes. For sure. Oh, look at me rubbing the sleep junk out of my eyes. But I've got my coffee. We're all mad here. And we're ready to go. Let's try to figure out what the heck we're doing. Last time, what did we do? We talked a lot about iOS Dev Happy Hour, learned a little bit about Doc.C, but didn't actually do anything about it, just talked about it. Learned how to use namespacing inside of assets for like types of colors, separating them. Got the TCR revert fixed again. I think I hadn't really. My initial stab at TCR assumed that the files already existed, but it didn't work well when you added a new file. And I really want it so that if you create a new file and your tests change, you lose that file. It's gone. I mean, your tests fail. You're back where you started. I learned from Marcus, was reminded by Marcus of a good trick for avoiding having to turn the debugger on and off is just to make a copy of the scheme. And I've been using that at work. Although, Marcus, I find sometimes, maybe it's something in the cleanup scripts, sometimes I'll lose my copy of the scheme, then I have to make it again. It's not a big deal though. And something about the law of Demeter. I think we'll find out. That's just a reminder, I think, that we've got code smells somewhere. We are working on Mastermind. Mastermind is basically like the original hey, Maverick. So Miro is free for up to 3 boards. So give it a crack. And when you if you create a new board by going to what they call the Miroverse, which is their like publicly submitted templates, then you can look for Discovery Tree as a good template created by one of the people who created Discovery Trees that gives some explanations and links and stuff. All right, so Mastermind, I figured out, is like the original Wordle. Need to create a... Oh, yeah, MudShark. There was something about that. Yes, you're right. I had to create a team of me. I think that's something like that. In order to get into the Miroverse or something. It sounds familiar. When you use get a mastermind, when you have a guess, so there are always 4 slots, it seems, although we'll see. We'll talk about that. When you make a guess, then hit that check button, and the feedback comes. I've got 3 white. Yeah, I expected a black there, or not a black. I expected at least another white. White is for right color in the wrong place. Black is for a peg in the right position. That is what we are trying to do. We have a representation of the feedback as empty, correct, or misplaced. We are now trying to map those into colors. And this is where we are, and you see right away that there is a lot of duplication. That doesn't bother me when we're in the middle of stuff. And some incorrect indices. That's where we are. And something about, let's see, let's look at it from the top. Mastermind feedback. Check that guess button. Show feedback about the guess. Show feedback as colored pegs. And for inside of here, black for correct, white for misplaced. And we have a crash apparently. There's our law of Demeter. I guess I have a bookmark. Bookmarks are nice, and nice feature of Xcode 16. And I guess we have a crash on the second color. Like if I change this to that, will it just crash? Yes, it will. Oh, I don't like being prompted like this all the time. What changed in the workspace? The crash, let's learn a little more, or be reminded again of the crash. Here I am turning on the debugger. Which then does this waiting to attach thing, which takes time that I'm not willing to spend most of the time, except when I need it. Okay, so clearly there is no feedback pegs. There's only one feedback peg. Why? I don't know. Go through all this stuff. Here is the test. Secret size of 1. So there it is. Let's find, I want to see like what types of secret sizes do we use? There are a few here and there, and some are ones. So with that, I know that Mudshark, you had this thing that about using a grid item instead of doing what we're doing here. And having a loop. Oh, Marcus, the debugger, like if you have if debug, that is unrelated to having the debugger on or off. That is simply the, what's it called? The configuration. Like what thing are we building, not whether the debugger is on or off. So you can rest easy on that. Let's reset that. And I was saying there's this, which I kind of want to learn about. Yeah, the two things. But at the same time, it seems to be a requirement to have to support a secret of 4. However, I can imagine like a simpler, like a toddler version of this game with a secret size of 2. Secret size of 1 doesn't make sense. I mean, it did when we were starting, just to have one peg. What to do? Because what I usually want to do in this situation is to hard code everything with duplication and all, get it right, and then clean it up so that it's using for each and so forth. But I do want to learn what this is. Let's see. What is it? Developer documentation command shift 0. How do I search? Oh, there. So it seems. Description in a lazy grid. Four rows. A lazy grid sets the width of each column based on the widest width in the column. Good to know, but again, I think it's not quite what I want. I feel like I want a grid. So this is what I propose. Whoops, what the heck? Force quit that thing. I don't use Outlook on this machine. Why do I even have it still? Probably from an old client. My proposal, is to increase secrets sizes to 4. Yeah, let's keep going and we'll find out. So I guess what I can do is to try increasing these and see if any tests fail. So if like this make SUT, if I set the number of code choices and the secret size both to 4, what'll happen? I don't know what will happen. If it passes, it'll commit and push. That's good. So this is a test-only change. And with that, let's confirm that it's on origin. That's good. All right. How about here? I feel like here we want to do something like that. Yep. In fact, let's look specifically for the really small ones first. Secret does not match guess of different size. So that should be okay as 4. We'll find out. How about here? I have to increase the code choices, otherwise it'll crash. Crash because I put in a runtime assertion. Let's see. This one, I don't know. No, this is game screen. We need to be careful here, especially careful here, because the game screen will contain the feedback, which it will try to render with whatever it's set up to render. Let's see. Displays code choices bottom up. Well, let's see if we can't. Let Copilot help us here. 1, 2, 0, 1. So this needs to be I'm just going to let it fill in here. I think this will be like 0, 1, 2, 3. I could be completely wrong. I'm a little scared. Terrifying. It's only a few keystrokes away. I'm lucky. Next. What happens here? Should be fine. Next. Starting to see some duplication here. Guess one. I'm thinking that these should be like that. Oop. This one is skipped. I'm going to leave it alone. How about secret size of 2? You know, out here, I guess these don't matter. They're not in the game screen tests. So increasing these actually doesn't help us. It would complicate the tests. I think I need to concentrate only on the game screen tests. Tapping code choices sets guess colors. Let's look at the tests. Check button is initially disabled. Some skip tests. Does not show game over. All right, let's do these. Also, what about duplication? Tapping code choices sets guess colors. Well, let's go. This is pretty easy for Copilot. Let's see. Try choice 1. I'm not liking that it's making these tests so long. That's a very long test. It barely fits on the screen. But it's not hard, right? Especially with Copilot. I'm barely thinking about this. Oh, I've got the debugger on. Crap. I just saw the waiting to attach. I must have committed it by mistake. Boop. Did you warn me about that, Marcus? You did you? Next. Check button is initially disabled. This won't change. It should just fly. How about this one? The guess is filled. So I have to fill it. Means I have to tap them all. So I'll just accept all the things. And this should pass. Does not show game over when guess is not filled. Getting kind of lost about what's not changed yet, so let's refresh this. Here we've got this test, which is disabled. And another test, which is disabled. So I think that will do it. I believe now that when if I set this, hang on a second, feedback view, didn't I have feedback view tests? I did. I believe that if I use, first, this should revert because peg2 color is here and it's hard coded to the same as the first one. Whoops. Let's get rid of that. I think this will revert. Good. All right. Now, that takes care of, I'm pretty sure that takes care of that. How about this duplication? It kind of bugs me that we had varying secret sizes, and now they're mostly the same. especially in the game screen tests. Those ought to be unified. Seems it's time to make a... There's a make game down here. I think the thing to do is to say, well, unless you tell me otherwise, these will all be 4. Like that should pass. Add default args to make game, which means that I think we can replace all of these. Oops. Wrong one. All of these with just plain old make game. There we go. What other duplication do we have? And I should mark this as in progress. I'm not sure that these matter. I think I dealt with the most obnoxious duplication, which was in the game screen tests. So with that, let's call it good enough. Now let's see if we can't get the second color to work. Having fulfilled these subtasks. Okay, the test we want, let's close most things. Oh. Hey, Michaela. Everyone say hi to Michaela. Everybody. I insist. Even if you're lurking and you have no idea who Michaela is. If you don't know who Michaela is, hey, follow her. Go find her and follow her. She's good folks. All right. What do we want to test? So we've got correct. I think I want a misplaced. Aww. The test I'm imagining is like you have greetings, first time chatter. See films. I'm imagining like input of correct, misplaced, and maybe empty, empty, like that, or misplaced, misplaced, empty. So misplaced. Will this work? Let's find out. Command U to run the tests using TCR, and it fails. And has reverted everything. All right, how did it fail? Oh, orange. Okay, that's my clue. Orange is not, I just slapped down some rando color there. All right. Oh, look at that. I've never seen the actual code of generated asset symbols. Huh. Curious. All right. Feedback color 4. Here we are. Orange. Empty, correct, misplaced. Hey, Eric. Glad you could join. Oh, I'm jealous. Michaela, have fun. Have a great time. Where is that conference? Oh, nice. Empty, correct, misplaced. So if I change this to pegs misplaced, try this again. Like that. Will this pass? Hooray! So this is a little bit of feature work, low risk, because it's covered by tests and it's very small. This 2 lines that I changed. So peg, like that. Now these are the correct colors. And I think that empty, empty should just sort of fall into place. Let's say misplaced and empty. Let's do one at a time. Oh, wait, I forgot. I forgot to see the test fail. With TCR, I still want to see the test fail. So, for example, if I change this back to orange, this should fail. I think. Yeah. And if I change this to 0, that should fail. Good. Oh, Michaela. Good luck there. Hey, so C films, I'm doing, yes, TDD with different words than those. Except I'm doing like the next generation of TDD, you might say, and that's TCR, test and commit or revert. So it's hardcore TDD where if the tests pass, it commits and pushes. If the tests fail, You lose what you did. So the workflow is a little different from traditional TDD. We don't go through red, green, refactor. We do red. We get to green, and then, as you can see, I did here, force it to red to confirm that my changes were good. Refactoring, we know we have this issue here of duplication, but I don't want to clean it up until I do them all. So let's get back here and see about misplaced. Misplaced, and this will be 2. Yes, that's the main thing that TCR does, is it puts the fear in you. If you lose something, then you say, oh, I'm going to try again, but take smaller steps because I don't want to lose all that. And lastly, empty. Yes. So let's do unselect, pegs unselected. Right? It's not coloring it for some reason. So if I were doing traditional TDD, small commits is great. Nice. Then I would want to see this fail. And it does fail, but because I'm doing TCR, it reverts my change. So I do make it again. And also fix this up. This should go green. It's still good to call your shot. And now I'll see it fail. Which reverts my changes. All right. Hey, a few more folks have come in. Welcome. Good to have you. So, our test should now, I'm just running them again just to get rid of that test failure left over there. So with test pegs, now I enter the refactoring stage, and this test is now no longer necessary. It's not serving us anymore. So we do the kondo mari thing and say, thank you. Thank you, test. You helped us. And goodbye. This is a test-only change. Remove now unneeded test. So I'm frowning at your question because Swift is performant. Swift is very performant. It is slow to compile. That's the big downside of it. It's becoming increasingly complex. The compilation just seems to take longer and longer. And that's a drag. All right, so that's some test refactoring there. Now let's look at what we can improve here. With this, the trick we want to use is to take code that is similar and make it identical. So Python will be slower at runtime, but it'll be faster to work with. So yeah, what Marcus said. It has less work to do to get you up into the running and feedback stage, which is nice. Folks, if you ever get the chance to work in or play in Smalltalk, do it. For those of you who have any Objective-C experience, you'll see some things that are familiar. However, there's a lot about it that is still very different. So we want to take things that are similar and make them identical. So that means, for example, this feedback pegs. If I extract that to a variable, oh, it won't let me. You little. Look at that. Now I have, does Swift improve on Objective-C? These are hard questions. I'll give you my silly answer to that, and that is Swift improves by adding greater type safety. Yay! Swift detracts by requiring type safety. Boo! How's that? It is more readable. But honestly, I don't know. So I have Command Option V mapped to extract all occurrences, but it's not even going to do extract to variable for me, which is very sad. That's all right. I don't know, Michaela. It depends what you need. There's that's okay. You can be a Swift bigot. It all depends what you need, right? Python is the right answer for some things, but not everything. So I want to. Oh, part of the reason it can't extract a variable is I'm hearing, like, what does it even mean? Can I do this? Okay. I wasn't quite sure. What's the most clear coding language? No such thing. Yeah. I enjoy these questions. So to extract that function, I first need to make one that is parameterized. You can shoot yourself with any gun you like. So foo Oh, it figured it out. Foo plus 1. So this should still pass, right? And this is a medium risk refactoring covered by tests. Have a great time, Michaela. Thanks for coming. Safe travels, good flight, good time there, good connections with people. Yeah. See films. Oh man, sorry. I'm just I'm catching up on your lovely dad jokes here. Oh gosh. Bomp bomp. uh so this is extract. I did an extract variable by hand with a silly name. Um Thinking about names. Peg index? Maybe? Yes, now we do that. Exactly. And I wanted the name right before I extract it because that'll help. So this should fly in. This is a low risk automated refactoring. So I'm going to designate that as a small. That's what the period means. Now, where's my extract? Where's my create variable? Create view. I feel like we've run into this before and I don't remember. Oh, I remember. Very annoying. It won't offer extract view unless you have the canvas up. Where's that canvas? Where's that canvas? I don't remember. Option, command, return. Do I not have a canvas because I don't have a preview? Crap, that means I have to make a preview just to... God, this is dumb. Fine. Yeah, I'll take that. Heck, what does this even look like? What's Pioneer, Marcus? Oh, that doesn't look right. Correct, misplaced, empty. Oh, it's white on white. That's the problem. Let's see what this is. Okay, this looks like something like what I use, which is I use Quicksilver. Very old. The reason I really like Quicksilver and is a lot of these apps are focused mainly on switching or launching. With Quicksilver, you can do other things like here, I'll see if I can. Oh, I can capture window easily enough, like that. And then it's like, and then what do you want to do with it? Well, I want to move it to my downloads, or no, actually, I just want to trash it. But how about we move it to the desktop? Oh, it's already there. How about I say, oh, getting to the desktop will be kind of a pain. It's behind everything, but I can do that easily enough by saying desktop. There's the thing. I want to open this with something else. I'll preview. Anyway, it's got a nice. What I like about Quicksilver is it's got this notion of object, or yeah, the subject and a verb. Shortcuts. I'll check that out. Thanks, Marcus. Okay, white on white is not great. Can I put this inside of something that has like, oh yeah, Clippy. I went the longest time using just the default clipboard pasteboard, which only has one thing in it. Any sort of clipboard manager, like I had to be convinced when I was pairing with Llewellyn. He's like, do it, just try it. I'm like, okay. Llewellyn Falco, who's a great coach, learned a lot from him. And it really is nice to be able to say, oh, okay, I want to get the thing that is like 2 copies ago. Any sort of clipboard manager, anything will do, is good to have. All right, I need a view with a color. What's a good way to do that? Paste. That seems to be another good one. How about wrap in view with color, I don't know, blue. Well, oh. All right. Don't really need that. Does it need... How's that? Or Marcus is offering a counter example. I think that's better. Yours is better, Marcus. It very clearly shows the extent of the view, and it's simpler. Add some padding. Why? Because it bothers you. I feel it bothering me too. But anyway, I can't believe that I'm having to do this in order to do an extract. Let's jot down some observations here. We've done some stuff. Things that we've talked about before I forget them. We've talked about TCR. I have to requires, which requires preview. See Films continuing with the you're like, I don't know, the good party host. For the rest of my life, because I'm an Apple aficionado, it would be Swift. If I weren't working on Apple stuff, I don't know. Something which something that JetBrains had an IDE for. Anything. Any freaking language that gives me a JetBrains IDE. Yeah, totally. I could do Kotlin. Because then I could use IntelliJ. Let's see. We are refactoring. We are working on a preview here. So this obviously won't affect any tests. So it'll just be, it's essentially test code, right? It gets commented out. So I'm going to mark it as test code, add preview so we can extract view. Now, go away, you silly thing. Now I should be able to extract Subview. Boom. And this is a feedback peg view, isn't it? Oop. Oop. Oh, come on. Obviously, I don't know how to do it. I'm going to do it this way. Because then I can just hit enter. Hold on. Hold on. It didn't do it right. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, man. So the extract failed. I mean, we can fix it up. But it's not great. Let's make it private too. So now it should. Still not good. It doesn't know what feedback pegs are. So we pass those in. And the function this function. Feels like it ought to live down here, but we still need it up above. So hopefully that will work. That keeps that happy. Let's fix this up. I enjoy Python a lot. I find it very easy to work with. It's got good tooling. And it's got a JetBrains IDE. All right. With this, will it now be happy? That this extraction was a little more painful. Oh. Thank you. First time chatter, kinetic legend. I'm like kinetical Gend. That is a good possibility that we have extracted the wrong thing. It shouldn't need all of that. It should just maybe just take the color and the index. I agree, Marcus. Everything is contextual. This is something that I've learned, especially being somewhat older than I'm guessing most of you, all of you. I went through something which probably won't make any sense to any of you, which was a worldview shift, a mind, sort of a what do you call it? A paradigm shift around my worldview, and it affected my faith. I had to, I grew up in being older. I grew up in the idea that everything was like right or wrong, binary, right? A coin has two sides only. and I went through a time of learning to say, being challenged about not saying something is good or bad, but instead asking good for what? Bad for what? That adds the context. That is important. I have not read that. And this was an important turning point in my faith. All right, I think this has gone too far in the wrong direction. Let's reset. That's too long without a commit. And in my book, that's enough. So it feels like the extract variable is not that helpful. Like, what if instead we pass in, what did you say, Kinetic Legend? Pass in the single feedback peg, not all of the pegs. And yeah, it doesn't have to be the color. The peg can still take care of the color for us. But it's like, extract that. Oh, yeah. That comes back to a brilliant book I read as a kid. It's so simple that I could read it as a kid, and this is called How to Lie with Statistics. And I remember a diagram from the book. It's super easy. It's not like, doesn't require. I was a kid. An image of a coin toss, like heads or tails. It's 50-50. Well, what are the chances it lands on its side? What are the chances it gets snatched by a bird? All right, let's see if it'll let us extract this. Okay. Gah, what kind of extraction was that? A failed extraction. It definitely put it. So we've got the peg and the peg index. Before, we had to pass in the peg index and all the pegs. And now we can pass in just the one peg? It's still, like, is it better? Which way feels better? Let's try it and find out. All right, so that had some manual fiddling. If I pass in that, extract subview, which is now broken. Thank you very much. But I can say, like that. Feedback color still needs to come in. Hopefully now this is fine. Fix these up. This is peg, peg. This is peg index. Peg index. How do I feel about that? VS Code. I'm not sure how I feel about VS Code. I feel like it lowered the bar. And yet with the plugin system, it can take care of a lot of things, including Swift. JetBrains is working on their version of a multilingual IDE. Oh, is it Electron? Oh, God. Huh. Isn't Atom Electron also? More Electron apps. Oh, sigh. I have no idea how successful JetBrains Fleet is. I haven't tried it in probably a year. So how do I feel about this? Nova, that's right. I remember reading about that one. Thank you, Marcus. How do I feel about saying, in particular, if I inline this, I don't like that peg index is repeated. I think I would rather pass in all the feedback pegs and a peg index. But we had to try it to find out. This is this is something that comes out of the ensemble or software teaming or mob programming crew is don't have debates about code. Try it and talk about actual code, not just ideas about code. 4 pegs, so not that heavy. It's true. All right. So if we change this to feedback pegs, let me bring this back down here again. I'm going to have to, let's start over. And I want to note that thing, the idea I just mentioned. Don't debate code ideas. I hope that makes sense. Don't talk about code ideas. Try it and talk about the code. That is, there's a lot in there. Okay, so I did another reset. Let's try again. One more time. I'm starting to wish I have a keystroke on that. Okay, let's move this once again. Yeah. There's no way it'll work. Okay, we get feedback pegs. The peg index and feedback color. And hopefully that makes this all happy. Looks like it. Which then makes this angry. Should. There we go. Had to give it a build. This is now unused. So I believe this will pass. Nope, didn't build. Oh, doggone it. Still did the wrong thing. Now try it. Whew. Except with the wrong name. That is a low risk refactoring. And now, the last step. So one of the tricks to extracting, doing any sort of extraction is to make things that, like I said, make things that are similar, identical, then make them like roll them out. And a trick to this is what you see me doing, extracting a variable, then extracting the view or the function or whatever it is, and then inline the variable back in place. Like we don't need peg index out here anymore. We can just inline that like that. And that's very safe. I'm going to call that low risk. And now we're set up. Extract var extract thing inline var. Now we're set up for success, right? So now we can say like that, move in small steps. Now I'm feeling bolder. Bolder still. Just say 2 and 3 and move in a slightly larger step. Nice. All right. Ooh. This landed on funny line there. We are at about time. Oh, last thing. This is now dead code. dead code is very low risk to remove in a compiled language. Yes, exactly. Thank you. We thank it and we throw it away. Anything else on the refactoring side of things? It would be great if dead code detection didn't take so long in Swift. So Marcus, what's the tool we use? What's it called? Periphery. Yeah, if SwiftLint could do it, I would totally do it. But Periphery needs some love and care to find dead code and reveal it, and there are false positives. Swift is super touchy, and it's something I miss about working in other languages with other IDEs that offer this to you. Kotlin and IntelliJ would say, this is dead, and offer to like remove it, or it would also do the thing of saying, this looks like duplication. There's a tool to check for duplication that I've used back in Objective-C days, and also it works in Swift, but I haven't done that a lot lately. I'm scared to run it at work. It would be great, wouldn't it? How are we feeling? I think we just finished off this. Which leaves us with some sort of law of Demeter violation at a bookmark, but we'll come back to that next time. Any other thoughts about stuff we did or discussed, or something you saw, observed, that we can put in the notes? Our little retro, continuous retro is a powerful thing. So this is extract Subview. It's really a shame. I think the assumption is you can't extract a subview without seeing it, because the assumption is SwiftUI doesn't have tests on it. Any other thoughts before we wrap up for this session? Yeah, I think I got that in here. Oh, in a template. Well, it wasn't that hard to add. Copilot is proving to be quite helpful for a lot of changes. A lot of the changes we did today were Copilot powered. Any other thoughts? Going once, going twice? Boom. All right. That's it. Folks who are watching this after the fact, oh, Mono, you came in at the very end. I'm sorry. I'm just about to wrap up. Of course, if you want to, you can watch it as soon as I turn it off. Yeah, isn't it funny? I don't see a whole lot of Swift stuff on Twitch. Do you? Very few people seem to do it. Maybe it's just when I look and I'm unlucky. But folks who are watching after the fact, on whatever platform you use, if you're on Twitch, give me a follow. If you are on YouTube, like and subscribe. And yeah, that is about it. I will see you then next time. Take care.